I didn't choose Dubai. Dubai chose me.
The first time I came here, and they'd be like, you're not allowed to eat or drink or nothing in the streets. And
I still feel like I'm missing a group, if that makes sense, because back home I have like 3-4 groups.
I couldn't handle everything. And then I just told myself, you have to say no to people.
they're kind of a little bit more fake people than you can find back home, because you have your families, you have your group of friends, like your school, everything.
Genuine people who have like this mindset that they wanna become someone here in Dubai.
I'm not big into social media and anything like that, but like for me, it's just I'll ignore it because I don't care about being online or whatever it may be. Welcome to another episode of the Helply Podcast. Today we're talking about expat life. So many people move from here from all around the world, expecting for fortune, fame, better career, whatever it may be. And there's so many struggles that come with living in this part of the world. And so we're going to get into it. So today we have three beautiful ladies with us. We have Nahad, Shafee, and Natalia. And we're just going to get into it. Thanks for coming on and thanks for taking the time.
Thanks.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
So weird now that like I'm in the guest position.
You're not the speaker today.
Yeah, I'm just gonna lay back and just chat a little bit.
Well, we always talk on the side, so it's good to get you in front of the camera and getting your opinion too. It's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
Joining us today.
Yeah, but yeah, first time guest here, so it's nice.
Yeah, we're new.
We're chatting with people. It's good.
All right, first question. People from the outside, right? There's over like 200 nationalities here. People are moving here all the time. The population is going to grow even more. You have people from all over the world. I can speak from personal experience. When I told them I'm moving to Dubai, everyone scratched their head. They're like, what the heck are you doing? Like, why would you move there? Everything like that.
Yeah.
Did you guys experience the same thing?
Yeah,
Yes,
because people have an
absolutely.
idea of Dubai when, especially in the UK, it's always so strict.
Right, the stereotypes.
yeah.
Even my family, they were concerned about so many things.
What did they tell you?
They were concerned about being a woman, first of all, about my clothing. You know, in Spain, we're like very liberal and like free everything. Yeah. And they were very concerned about that. What are you going to wear? When you go to the mall, what are you going to wear? They were so concerned about that and about being a woman with rights. That was insane. And then moving in here, it's all different.
It's completely different, right? Honestly, Dubai's been rated one of the safest places for women. Like I tell this to all my friends that back home, it's like people reserve tables with their phones and their wallets and their Gucci bags, right?
I
and
left
they walk
my
away.
phone on a table, and 3 hours later I went back. It's in the same place. No one even noticed.
No one went there.
It's so funny to think of these misconceptions that you hear. But to be fair, I think the other side of it, I think Dubai has progressed very rapidly. I think we used to be a time where, you hear about those kind of things and things like that happen. So, everyone's always, your parents are coming from a good place, right? They're trying to protect you, et cetera, from that side. But it's always a shock. Yeah. Any other misconceptions or like shocks that you've
For me,
heard?
I remember when I first came 6 years ago, Ramadan. I'm not sure if you guys have noticed the difference in the years. They're becoming a lot more like chilled about it. And like my mum and dad came last year and I booked the tickets and I didn't even think, it's Ramadan at the time. And they came and it was like, the food is now uncovered and stuff like that. So I didn't even know it was Ramadan the whole time, actually. So
it's so strange. So I've been here about little under 5 years, and I've seen the progression happen pretty quickly in my time frame, because everyone kind of told me the same thing. Ramadan's super strict. Even if you weren't Muslim, you had to adhere to everything. You couldn't drink water on the street. You had to do everything.
which we do still do, I guess.
You try to be respectful, though, but I think they're a little bit more accepting
Yeah.
of outside cultures. But I think you see this other side of it and then you saw it go from being super strict to how do you dial it back a little bit. So then you saw, I don't know if you guys saw the blacked out curtains over restaurants, right? And so then you'd have to be on one side versus the other. And now it's almost as business as usual.
Yeah.
It was a culture shock for me, and I'm already like from Egypt and like the same Muslim place, because I never seen these blackouts. Like we have restaurants who are like fully booked at iftar time, so they don't work during the day. But there's fast food chains and everyone is like normal. And so the first time I came here, and they'd be like, you're not allowed to eat or drink or nothing in the streets. And we don't even have this as like it's kind of a respect sign, but nobody is forcing anybody to not eat or drink. And I get my friends one time, she was like crying. She got a guy yelling at her because she was so thirsty, because that time Ramadan was in the summer as well. She was drinking water in the side street and someone yelled at her for drinking water. She's like, I was crying in the street. I was like, how? Like it shouldn't happen. But it's crazy now how it progressed and people getting more comfortable, and they do it as a sign of respect as well, not like being afraid.
Because I actually like it, to be honest. Like it's a whole month where I feel like I try to follow a little bit. Like I quite like not drinking drinking in public to respect them. I quite like trying to like fast a bit, you know.
A little bit of discipline.
Yeah,
It's a nice. Like,
it's different.
Especially from an outside culture. It's like, I don't, from the US, you're super accepting of all cultures, and like you can't say anything about anybody doing anything, right? And so it's nice that here people actually hold to their values, and it's kind of, it's a beautiful thing to see, actually. It's you're more encouraged to have a little bit more discipline, to be more respectful of those around you, whether it's like charity and giving back. It's like, it's actually really, really nice.
I do this a lot, to be honest, especially during the summer. I mean, you know, we all order every day. I have like a little pot at the door, and I give like change to everyone, because it's so nice to do. It makes you feel good, and you know, you're making their day. So I like that a lot. So the month of Ramadan, I try to do it even more. It's nice.
Definitely. As far as like the culture aspect, I think that's one of the big things that coming from even coming from Egypt, right? You're coming to here as well, and you're seeing all these different cultures come together in one place. One of the beautiful things that I've found is that in the US, and I'm not sure about the UK or maybe even Spain as well, it's like when people come to those countries, I feel that, you know, they say this, okay, you want to live the American dream, right? So I've found that wherever they're from in the world, they almost hide this part of themselves because they want to be an American. They want to live that lifestyle. And it's like, okay, that's nice. It's like, great. Okay, we want that conformity or whatever it may be. But at the same time, it's a beautiful thing to see you bring that culture out. And I think I see that a lot here. So wherever they are from in the world, India, Pakistan, the UK, Spain, like you bring that culture with you here. And you find your mini communities that celebrate that stuff, but it's almost, they're still prideful and they want to live their home life here.
So you hear this in Dubai, is like, where are you from? Where are your background? What's you really from? And nobody feels offended with this. Nobody feel like, oh no, I'm American, I'm English. No, it's like, oh, my background is from Africa, I'm from Asia. It's like my family are from this, they travel this. And it's just so normal, because you can see a person, you can see some of their accents or like how they look. It's like you actually, because you're truly interested of their background. This is what's so good here in Dubai. You're actually interested in the people, because you don't go like, go back to your country. Nobody cares. No, everybody here is from someone else.
And you know what I've realized? Everyone in here, they have mixed culture. Everyone. Like, I'm only Spanish, and I feel so boring in here because everyone is telling me, I'm English. I'm Spanish.
I'm so boring.
And when people ask me, where are you from? It's like, I'm Spanish. And they're like, but originally, where are you from? And your parents? I'm like, yeah, Spanish. And their face is like they're waiting for me to say something else, like, shit.
I actually assumed you were a mix of something, to be honest, like Iranian or...
Right?
Yeah.
I get a lot of Moroccan.
Okay.
Yeah, Moroccan and
The
Lebanese.
Mediterranean thing is like...
you have dark features,
Yeah.
I get
guess
it all the time because of my name, and I'm like, hello, look at me, I'm so English it hurts, freckles, ginger.
Mom and dad could have just chosen, we're trying to go a little wild with this.
Just doing a DNA test as someone who's like, oh, I am 1%, like, you know, from...
Exactly, 23andMe.
I always wanted to do that test, to be honest.
I'm sure you'll find some interesting results from all of us. Right?
From Andalusia, we have a lot of North African history, so I'm pretty sure there's something around there.
Mix inside of you.
Interesting. Well, I know we hear about this all the time, and we're talking about different stories that we have experiencing here, but I'm curious on everyone's... I know why I came here, but I would love to hear what drew you guys to Dubai. If you're saying family, you know, everyone says, hey, why are you moving there? Why are you moving there? What brought you here? What were you most excited about too?
I didn't choose Dubai. Dubai chose me.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
It's true. Actually, it was such a random thing to happen. I was in Germany finishing university, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if I should go travel, go work, study a master's degree. I didn't know. And suddenly this influencer that I was following on Instagram for so long, she posted that she's looking for people to join her team in Dubai. And I'm like, you know what? I don't know what to do with my life. Let me just apply for it. And I did. And I got a call with them the same day, and they told me, we want you to be in Dubai in 1 week. And I'm like, damn.
It makes it easier that way, though, trust me, because if you had time to sit on it, you might be like, oh.
Exactly. But like in 1 week, and I was in Germany, I have to pass by Spain to say bye-bye to my family. And I need to do a lot of things. So in 1 week, I just moved to Dubai, and I loved it in here. It didn't work out with them at the end. I had to go back to Spain after 3 months. But I knew, like, I have to be back in Dubai. Dubai is my place to be, And now
Really?
here I am.
Tell me more about that actually. What about Dubai? Like something that like, especially when it didn't work out at first. I came during COVID and again, the same job that I had lined up got pulled because no one knew. Everyone was like, just hold on. How long can this COVID thing really last, right? We'll hire you afterwards.
Yeah.
And it didn't. So there was a phase where I almost thought, I was like, hey, I'm just going to move back to the US. So what was it for you about Dubai that you're like, I need to go back?
I didn't want to go back, but I had to because I only had 1 week, right, to decide whether I'm moving to Dubai or not. So I didn't have time to do all this research. So all these stereotypes that I was hearing in Europe from my family, my friends, like media, I didn't know if they were true or they were not true because I didn't know anything about Dubai and I didn't have time to research. So when I came in here, I started working. I was so happy because it was like social media with this influencer, with this topic that I was loving, but they never gave me a visa. And I didn't know you gotta have a visa.
So,
I don't know.
One of the things you have to learn. No. You definitely have to learn those things, right?
Like me being European, it was the first time outside of Europe. I didn't know anything about visas. So for me, they were telling me, after 3 months, we'll give you your visa. Then something went wrong with the business and they told me they cannot afford my visa. So they told me, okay, you can keep working from home. I'm like, where's home? I haven't been living in Spain for like years.
Yeah.
So I don't have a home. I left my home in Germany. I left it to come to Dubai. So I was in that position that I went back to my family's house, but I wasn't happy. After experiencing Dubai only 3 months. In 3 months, Dubai got my attention. I made my life in here. I met amazing people. I got amazing opportunities. Networking in Dubai is like next level.
Yeah.
I told my family, I don't have nothing in Dubai. I will go and I will make my life in there. And
love
here
that.
I am 3 years after. Yeah.
Amazing. Congrats.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
It's crazy how people come. It's like, oh, I'll just try it out for a few months, for a year or
Then
something.
you
It's
end
like
up here.
10 years later.
That's isn't that that's the running joke, right? It's that saying we're gonna go a year or two, maybe save some money, then we'll go back or whatever. And then now you see people are like, hey, I'm buying a house, I'm doing this, and they're looking at long term. Shout out to Dubai in general. They are incentivizing it a little bit more. Golden visa programs, things like that. They're really incentivizing people to now look at Dubai as home rather than maybe a little bit more transient before. But it is that joke. You hear it all the time everywhere you go. You're like, oh yeah, you're one of those 2 years, huh?
I feel like that kind of thing with like 2 years later, 10 years later, that kind of thing you see it on like, it's our life. Like it's our life. You feel like, I feel like it's flashing. You don't feel the time. And it becomes our home in like a second. It's crazy how it just grows on you. Especially like, I understand, like I'm from Egypt, so it's very close. But with like Europeans as well, it's like, oh, I didn't know about the visa. Well, good for you with your passport. It's like, it's so crazy how it's just turned to your home. Especially like in the UK with the weather, like completely opposite weather.
You asked me why I want to live in Dubai. I want to live in the UK with rain every day. No, thank you.
Honestly, during this time of the year, I would welcome some rain considering how hot it is right now. But
I'm joking, always joking with her. It was like with the English, it was like, oh, we have so many English refugees here in the winter. Like,
yes, exactly.
Right. For our 2 days
British
of summer.
welcome.
Like, welcome.
running away from like the English weather. So
Yeah, it's not the best in the UK.
especially in winter, it's depressing.
Cold.
It's depressing.
I remember I used to
Yeah,
wake
those
up for
grey
work.
skies.
It would be dark, and then like I can't get out of bed, and then like I would get out of bed, go to work, come back, it's dark, like 4 p.m.
No.
Always raining. Always the worst thing for me was when I have to de-ice the car. So you get in the car, the whole screen is like you can't even move the wipers because it's fully frozen. So you have to get up an extra 20 minutes early, get into the car, turn the heat on
Defrost,
full blast, and then just sit there while it slowly defrosts, and you're just questioning life, like
Freezing
I'm
in the
going
car,
to
yeah.
work, I'm working 9 to 5. This weather,
How come people live with that? Wow.
You'd be surprised.
People love the snow. I'm spoiled as a California kid, so we did not deal with the snow, but some people really like the snow as well. You're like,
I mean,
Yeah.
I like the snow in my hometown from Granada. We have the snow in the mountain. So you can live your normal life in the city. And
Go
if you want
visit the
snow,
snow.
you go to the snow.
Exactly.
Yeah, and when it snows in the UK, like the whole place shuts down and like no one can drive in it. And then you go to somewhere like in the US where they have these like snow up to here and they're like driving around every day.
Just every day. You're like, okay.
Snowstorms for me are meaning like delayed everything, delayed flights, de-icing of aircraft, everything is not working, and like it's just messy and it's like really cold and the black ice. The first time I got into like snow, we got snowstorm, the airport shut shut down, things are not working. And then the second time I got like in a puddle with all the black ice. I had no idea what's a black ice is until I was like knee deep and like in a pothole. So yeah, not a good experience with snow.
The weather here is nice, to be honest. I know we have 2-3 months of right now, but like it's so worth it in the winter.
The other 9 months, 10 months, whatever it is, it's beautiful all day long. It's like t-shirt so and short weather for me, and I love that component. So everyone's like, oh, you live in the desert or whatever it may be. It's like, yeah, we have a couple months where we just like pretty much any other place in the world, but otherwise than that. And I also think it opens a different type of challenge or opportunities or something a little bit different from where other places in the world, where now when it's so hot during the day, there's so many things to do at night.
Yeah.
Right? Like I never heard of night swimming.
Yeah.
You kind of hear about it with your friends. Hey, all of our friends, we're going to do that.
It looks, I've not done it yet, but I want to.
You have to. It's so nice.
I was always scared because I was like, what if there's something inside you can't
can
see it? But the lights
see through the water.
So
yes.
Yeah.
You literally
I
see
did
the bottom.
the Korean bikes past, and I was like, what's everybody doing?
Yeah, exactly.
And it gets crowded.
Yeah.
It's like so
it was
nice.
really busy. Yeah.
It's a fun thing to do. And so it's like at night, the weather is definitely more bearable, but you can also go in the water and, they've done a great job. They put lights out there too in certain areas as well. And so you can still go and enjoy yourself. So it's such an interesting concept that you wouldn't really think about before because, maybe other places are not as safe or whatever it may be. But because Dubai brings that safety as well, then you have these opportunities to do too.
I think this is one of the biggest things for me because, I have 3 dogs in Dubai. Nice. Yeah, they're a lot. She loves Pablo.
3 babies.
Pablo's an angel. The other two
troublemakers.
they make my life hell. Anyway, so
my clothes got peed on the first time he came home. So
Marcus territory. I like this one.
Yeah, he was like, "This is my house now." But yeah, so I walk them at 3 a.m. in the morning. I don't even flinch. Someone's out, I'm like, "Hey, morning." I wouldn't even flinch. Back home, I wouldn't even step out the house after 8 p.m. I could not.
Oh wow.
It's not, I live in a nice area, but it's someone walks by you and oh my God, they're gonna kill me. You just honestly think the worst because you just cannot trust anybody in these good
you hear about all these things and all the terrible things that are happening out there, and so it's natural to think I need to protect myself. I need to. Do you feel that here? You feel that you can lower that guard a little bit more.
Yeah,
it's nice.
I used to be a teacher in the UK, and you just see the kids slowly getting worse, more rude, more how do I put it? They're causing more issues. They're so naughty, and then you come here and you just think they go out, they go to the movies, they go to the malls till 11 p.m. but they're not on the streets causing trouble, and it's amazing compared to the UK. They don't have anything to do, so they go on the streets and they bike around causing trouble everywhere. So
Interesting.
it's crazy here.
Have you guys got into that mall culture here? So mall culture being because of whether it's heat or whatever it may be, but malls tend to be a big hangout in Dubai, right? You have Dubai Mall, one of the biggest luxurious malls in the world. You have the Mall of the Emirates, where there's Ski Dubai, where you can ski indoors, right?
Yeah, I just went there for the first time the other month, guys.
Oh, nice. How'd you do?
I did 3 lessons, so
Okay.
I'm nearly there.
How was it?
It's good. It's really nice. And it was just getting hot, so I was like, right, now's the time to practice.
Yeah.
I never learned how to ski, and in Al Quoz there's one place that
With
it's
the
a
electric
moving
ramp.
one.
Yeah, it's
so
cool.
I'm planning to go in there and learn how to ski.
It's with rugs, right, or something?
So it's like a board.
So it's like a roll, and there's a bar, so you can start by that.
Yeah.
And you can learn for the kids.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking to
That
do
would be
this for
fitting for me.
another few lessons.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Yeah, actually, one of my good friends, he was on the pod, and his partner basically didn't know how to ski, and so she basically did this because they had a trip to France planned, and so it was a big group, and she needed to know how to ski, so she said she did it, and she absolutely loved it. So that's amazing.
It's nice.
Right?
I
It's really
always
good.
miss out on the skiing trips because I don't know how to ski, and the anxiety to say everyone's gonna be skiing and me, I'm gonna be left behind and falling all the
You'll be
time.
on the small ramps practicing while they're all going past you
cold weather sport. No, thank you.
Ready for you guys.
So true.
Cold weather sports, no, thank you. I would prefer just go somewhere warm, I guess.
No, but it's Georgia, it's 4 hours away. I really want to go.
Sharm el Sheikh is 2.5 hours away, so I was I can do
True.
snorkeling, I can do water skiing, stuff like that, which is great.
But you can do that here.
Oh,
I went
you
snorkeling in Fujairah, amazing.
Really?
There's
things
Red Sea is completely different. Go to the
I went before, remember?
Hurghada.
I told you. And they were
Hurghada
trying to sell me for camels because I was blue eyes. I was like, okay. How many am I left? Just one?
No.
Offended.
I love it. From an outside perspective, one of the other things I love about Dubai being a natural international hub is this aspect of travel. We can, and maybe less so from UK, Spain. You guys are already in this part of the world. Egypt, you're already here. But from the US, one, we don't have the best annual leave policies in the US. You get like 2 weeks, right? And so if you want to,
Even if you get that,
standard.
like,
Standard is 2 weeks, and you can
Do
negotiate
you have
more.
like public holidays?
We do, but nowhere. Another thing I love about Dubai.
Yeah, the 9 days.
The holidays
all
that
the
we have
time.
here, like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So the U.S. doesn't have the best, and so when you want to travel to this part of the world, you kind of need to take both of those 2 weeks at one time, considering jet lag, and then you try to do this like almost
'cause
like
it's
mental
16
Kontiki tour,
hours.
where you're jumping from place to place to do a day here, day here, day here, day here.
Yeah.
Being in Dubai or being in this part of the world, you can just go. You can go for a long weekend. You can go, and exactly what you were saying, we have so many public holidays, and they do it so right in the sense that even if it's a prophet's birthday on the Monday or a Tuesday, they observe it on the Friday or the Thursday, and so then everyone has an extra long weekend, and so you can go. I've gone to Egypt 3 or 4 times now, and I absolutely love it. Like it's just going to the
It
beach
is a nice
snorkeling.
place.
I've never been.
Oh,
It's
you
nice.
have to go. It is.
It's nice. I would like to
the
try
next
Hurghada.
podcast at the beach.
Yeah, we'll do it on location.
So it's like, hey guys.
Yeah, it's one of those things. And so like having that is, I think, is also good with the work-life balance, because Dubai in this region is also known for a hard, like, let's say a hustler culture, right? Like, it's like you're going to be here, you're going to roll up your sleeves, people. It's almost standard to work 5 to 6 days a week, and you're working, it may be potentially long hours, whatever it may be. You know, some people say that one side of the argument is that that's what you signed up for, right? You're coming here, you know what you're doing. You're
Not all the time, huh?
No?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think like in here, as you mentioned, like there's so many people that they work extra hours, long days, and like
True.
that's not what it says on the contracts most of the times.
Yeah.
I
That's
assume.
true.
So I didn't sign up for that, and I did that. Yeah. So.
I think it's a culture shock as well when it comes to
Yeah.
work here, because I feel it's a hustler life, like you said. It's not just your job you go to. You feel the burnout more. I feel like you're always working because there's so many new people coming in every day, and there's so many opportunities. There's always something around the corner. So you feel like you're not stopping. You're not taking a minute. You're always chasing the next
See,
opportunity.
For me, I kind of like, I know I work a lot, but let's say I finish work at like 4 p.m. and I always make sure I have something planned every night. So whether it be just like a class and then sauna, steam, you know, or whether I go to like Kite Beach, do the Korean bikes. I love this, by the way. And then, so like, I always feel like every day I feel like I've got so much time because I have done something. Like I've not just been to work. So I found this has worked really well for me actually, because before I always thought like, all I do is work. And then when I started doing this, I feel like in the UK, you go to work and you go home because there's nothing to do. Here, there's so much to do till midnight.
I love
and
that.
everybody's out all night, actually. It's busier at nighttime here. In the UK, it's quiet at nighttime. Here, it's amazing. So I found once I started doing this, I really enjoy my life a lot more. Like, I feel like I don't work as much as I do, even though I'm technically working the same hours, because I'm just making sure that each day I've done something. So
That's nice.
It's
yeah, I
fun.
really
You don't
prefer
feel a
it.
burnout, like you always have to feel, because I get this one, but I don't have this anymore. When I got to Dubai and I had this FOMO, like if I'm not doing something, if I'm not like out
Going for
about
brunch or something like that,
I'll
I'm
always
missing
feel like,
out.
oh, I'm missing something. I have to be active all the time. I have to be out all the time. I feel like, okay, you get that pressure when you have to feel productive. Even if you're not working, you have to feel productive in other ways.
True.
So, but it's, I don't have this anymore because I'm balancing my life better, even though I'm working more than ever.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good point. I'll say 2 things and I'll prompt a question for all of you guys. So like one of the things, so I had the privilege of working at Google at a point. And so Google is the #1 company to work for. And one of the things that they do is they provide everything for you, right? You see the cafes, the gyms, the nap pods, you know, it's all there for you. And everyone's like, oh, that's amazing that you have it. But one of the things that they don't tell you is that you're always working.
Yeah.
But they give you everything to make you feel like you're not working. So you can, I can stop in the middle of the day and go to the gym, or can go and have a coffee with a friend or somewhere and invite someone over. Because of that, it helps you. And so that was the Google mentality of this aspect of balance, right? It's like, yes, you might have to work a lot, and that's what the modern day pressures kind of ask of you, but we'll give you the things that help you feel like you're going to be able to balance as well.
I was going to say, because you feel like you actually have a bit of freedom to go off during the day and do your own thing, it kind of makes you want to work because you're like, oh, you know, if I need to go somewhere, grab something, do something, I can.
Exactly.
You know, I love in Dubai, I see a couple of times like these companies where they have like dogs in the offices. That would be my dream.
I do.
I love it.
I need to come and work with you.
I'm working in this co-working space, and it's literally the best. Everyone is bringing their dog. I wish I had a dog.
That's my dream.
They have sauna and gym and like a bar and a pool.
Okay.
Yeah, I only make use of that after my shift.
There you go. Caveat there.
Yeah, but it's quite nice. It's very nice.
Yeah, this is amazing.
I guess that's the question I want to ask. Like, I mean, in all of our jobs, we always feel that there's these like high pressure situations. There's either long hours or where you have to, and very often you hear people experiencing burnout, right? It's like, hey, like I just need to disconnect. I need to leave. I need to do something. So you're saying, hey, look, as long as I have something planned afterwards, it makes me feel I have a balance. What about you guys? Have you guys done anything that helps you kind of balance or helps you feel more zen or in control or being able to handle it all?
I used to have, as you mentioned, FOMO. Like I wanted to be everywhere because otherwise then I would go on Instagram and I used to see like all the people in Abu Dhabi for this event. And oh my God, why wasn't I there? And like I started like to feel, I don't know, like I'm not doing enough. Maybe I'm not doing enough. But then I got to one point I was working a lot. I was like living on the side, like so many important things like my content creation that I was so happy about it because like I couldn't handle everything. And then I just told myself, you have to say no to people. You don't have to be everywhere. Like for what? For what? You're gonna be in there and you're gonna fall asleep on the place. Like that was actually happening. Going with my friends and like to this cafe right here. And I would fall asleep in there. What's wrong with me? So I told myself, it's okay to say no to people, to say no to plans. You're not God. You cannot be everywhere. Yeah.
True.
But it's hard to say no to people. Because I struggle with that still.
It's setting boundaries. I feel like once used to it, saying no, setting boundaries. Because this is falling asleep. I used to do, but in the cars of my friends, whenever we're going, at that time I didn't drive, and whenever we're going somewhere and coming back from that place, I used to fall asleep. Like to the point where I started to be afraid of like when I get a car and I start driving, am I going to be falling asleep on the wheel? Because every time I sit in a car seat, I'm just falling asleep. I realized no, because I was tired. And once you set boundaries and you enjoy your own company, because then I realized it was like, I'll do a class, I'll go to the gym. This is a productive day for me. I'll go to the beach and read a book. I don't need to even like go and just swim or just like read a book. Sometimes staying in your pajama, watching TV, it's the best thing you can do for yourself.
Day. I love to
This is so the opposite.
Like,
I would love to be like that. I do that, don't get me wrong. But I feel like when I'm busy or around people, that's when I feel my best, you know? Like for me anyway, I would love to be more like this, let's just have a whole Sunday in bed. But if I do that, no, like I would either feel like I'm like wasting a whole day of my life and I find time so precious. So I just feel like I really don't do that.
But you're a crazy introvert who woke up 4 a.m. on her day off to walk the dog. So it's like completely, like it's a completely different. It's just
Wait, I have a question.
Steroids.
So what about if you stay at home but you are being productive at home in the sense of you're doing laundry, you're doing like self-tanning, you're doing like wash your hair and style it.
So I have one day a week where I do my like self-care.
Okay.
Well, every day I do like my skincare, which takes like 20 minutes, you know, like make myself feel a bit better. But like I only spend like maybe 2 hours once or twice a week doing like my hair wash, like my blow dry, this kind of thing to make me feel better. But then once that's done, I'm like, okay, what am I going to do now? I can't just sit still. Like unless I'm sat watching like a series with the dogs, which doesn't happen very often, like I just feel like I need to be doing something. The only reason I'm ever at home is because either I've not been at home enough for the dogs and I'm like, okay, I just want to sit with the dogs, you know. But then I would rather go out and walk them. Like
She's a golden
in the winter,
retriever.
I will go out with Pablo all day.
Golden retriever energy was like like a black cat
dogs.
just sitting there. It's like, oh my god.
Your dogs.
I
really want to see your dogs.
I had a taxi driver the other day. Oh, so sweet. So he was pulled up waiting for somebody and he was like, ma'am, wow, they're the prettiest dogs I've ever seen in my life. Aww. By the way, I have chihuahuas. They're like, so I'm like, really? And like, I think they're gorgeous because I'm biased, right?
Yeah, of course.
But like, I was like, I've never had anyone say that, but he was so sincere. He was like, ma'am, I love them. He was like, I drive around Dubai all day long. I never seen such pretty dogs, mashallah. And I'm like, thank you. I was like nearly in tears.
That came out of his heart.
I mean, they're cute, but they're
But they're permanent puppies. Like, they're always
They are
like,
small.
you always like carry them as like, and they're so stubborn. And they're so stubborn.
No, they are so stubborn.
You cannot be that stubborn. Like when you walk in, someone's like, no, I'm not gonna walk this way. I was like, I'll pick them up. It's like, I can just carry you anyway.
I feel like the hat feels a certain way about your chihuahua.
But
She's like the
if you're
spoiled them,
having
and
a
I'm the
bad
strict
day, they will come, right? Pablo will come, trot along, and he will make you get up, take him for a walk, and you will instantly feel better. Like, I honestly thank them
that's
every
so
morning because they
nice.
get me out of bed and they're like, come on, Mum, like, we want a wee. We want my
That is so
dinner.
cute.
Yeah.
I guess,
So-
you never feel burnout then.
No,
Never
because I
know
love it.
how that feels.
I think it's one of those things of knowing yourself, right? Like knowing what you like and what gives you energy, that intro, extrovert that we were talking about, but understanding that balance. And so sometimes you need it and sometimes you don't. And saying, okay, what does give me energy and helps me recharge? Sometimes it's like, hey, I do need to be outside. I just need fresh air. I need to just be outside, right? I don't need to be even doing anything. I can just go lay in the grass somewhere or something like that. Other times, hey, I just need to, self-care. I want my sleep mask on. I want to listen to my podcast. I want to do read my book by the pool. That's that. There's a lot of different things.
Because
but-
different things work for different people. And don't get me wrong, this was not me all the time. I only found myself this way for the last year, I'd say. So yeah, it's...
So one thing I wanted to ask now, so we've talked about a lot of cool things about Dubai, a lot of opportunities that we've gotten. I want to hear about the challenges. So earlier you were mentioning about visas.
Yeah.
One of the things you have to realize, to be here, technically you need a visa. And that's not the same in everywhere else in the world. So what other challenges did you maybe not expect when you got here? And it's open for anybody who wants to answer. So.
For me, it's the people. Like you're used to type of friendship and type of connecting with different people back home, and I think it's different for culture. But here with different cultures, different people, and you can have a group of friends, and in a year or two, most of these people just left because everybody is moving on.
It's the transient nature of Dubai, right? Everyone's coming and going. They're not expecting to be here long term. So it's hard.
To the point where you feel like you're not making true connections with people because people also is like, oh, if I actually made a true connection, those people gonna leave in a year or two, or they're just gonna, or I'm gonna leave in a year. I don't need true connections. So this is where it becomes really hard to connect with people and
on a deeper level.
Yeah. And it took me a long time until I got actually these true friendships and this support system, because I feel like a lot of people in Dubai as well don't have that support system when it comes to friendship. It's very difficult and challenging here. And I see people who come here at the beginning, it's also challenging for them.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I still feel like I'm missing a group, if that makes sense, because back home I have 3-4 groups, school friends, uni friends, this, and I still keep in touch with them. And then here, you do notice the difference for sure. I do have some good friends, but separate friends, I'd say, more than a group that we all do things and we all go out every weekend.
No Chihuahua dog walking groups that you're
know, right?
You should. I'm sure that needs to be
I have
here.
one
should
friend, she
create
has
that.
a Chihuahua
There you
too,
go.
so we have this, but my friends, my dogs, they're a bit barky, so no one wants to actually hang out with them. But no, with her, we do things together. But again, it's a lot of friends also. You have friends that want to go out only with you. So they're you're going out friends, and then you have different, it's where it's at home, it's friends that you do everything with, So I definitely agree with that.
Interesting.
I've been struggling with making girlfriends, only girlfriends, because I feel like people come to Dubai with different intentions. There's so many type of people in Dubai, right? There's some people that they come to work full time, make a lot of money to go back home to their families. Then there's people, I guess, like us, that we're trying to make a career and to start something and maybe become an entrepreneur and stuff like that. But there's some other people that they come here to enjoy life. And to me, I've been struggling with finding genuine people who have this mindset that they wanna become someone here in Dubai, start something on their own and grow in their life and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've been struggling with girls. I've met so many nice people. They are stunning people, but their goal is just to party, to go to restaurants, to travel the whole world while not creating.
I can actually
definitely
after this, I'll introduce you to some people because I know a couple groups of basically female-led entrepreneurs
Oh,
groups.
I have one on Facebook.
There you go. So
Really?
it's like there
Yeah.
are
You have to
communities.
share
I'll
with
show you the
me.
group.
That was the one thing I was going to say after hearing everyone's stories here is that one of the things that I found, because I also struggled to find friends when I first got here, and I came, during COVID and then everything locked down, so it made it even harder. Everyone tells you when you come to Dubai, you're going to go out, you're going to meet all your friends, and you think you get close, but it's very superficial or whatever it may be. So how do you get that deep connection? And so I feel that I found it coincidentally because I like to play a lot of sports, and so basketball is the number one sport that I play, and so I just started playing a lot of basketball. Wherever I could play basketball, I was going to do it, and that's where I found a lot of close friend groups, because I found friends who just played basketball, like you were saying. I have friends that want to play basketball and then go for a drink afterwards. Then I had friends who were just like, okay, I am in an entrepreneurial mindset. I have my own business. I also play basketball, and I'm okay with a drink every now and again. So you slowly start fine tuning and just. But one of the things is that we talked about this, and it was this: put yourself out there in the things that you like to do. So just keep doing the things you like to do, and be open with that mindset of just talking to people, because you never know who you're going to meet and what you're going to do. But also, like you said, Dubai is an amazing place to network, right? So you have this aspect of even this interaction. I can introduce you to someone in the same way that what you're looking for in that space. But it's tough to find them though, naturally.
I posted a video about this, speaking out loud. How are people creating these big groups that, as you mentioned, you have friends here and here, but not a big group. And I don't want them to be superficial, just to go party, just to go like that. And I posted a video about this, and so many girls related to it. So many girls I'm also struggling. I cannot find genuine people with genuine intentions, with similar goals as me. And I'm actually creating a group. I open a survey to people to say a little bit more about themselves. And I'm actually creating a group, and I hope out of there. But maybe I should join some kind of gym and sport, because
if those are the things that you like, just start meeting them. But definitely, if you feel that your communities are also asking the same question, be that champion. Because if you're the champion and everyone's coming to you, then when you're networking with other people and then you find other groups that are doing this, you can connect those groups and be this person that connects everyone together.
That would be lovely.
But do you feel like there's something in Dubai which was a little bit of a negative, is that it's hard to find that genuine connection with people? I'm not saying they have more fake or more fake people than ever, but it's just because there's so many young people in the expat, mostly in this kind of young genre, they're kind of a little bit more fake people than you can find back home, because you have your families, you have your group of friends, school, everything. But here you can't find that genuine connection because it's more transactional here. So
I was going to say, because when you said about challenges, for me, one of my challenges here is you see everybody on Instagram, even in real life, and their life looks amazing, They've got G-Wagons, they've got everything you could dream of, their house, and they've just renovated it, and it's gorgeous. And then when you actually meet them, I feel they're not happy, and they're not. So this is the fakeness for me is it makes me feel I've not got enough. It makes me feel I need to do something about it. I need more, and I always feel I need more. But then deep down, when I actually get to know someone that looks like they have this amazing life, they don't. They're not happy in it. So I feel that's a challenge for me. It's I keep having to remind myself, they have a nice car. Yeah, they have this. But I'm happy. I don't need that, to make me happy. This is one of my because you see it everywhere you go,
I feel also the more you have as well, the more you will have people who want something that you have. I feel it's always this one with the relationship, even with friends, with dating, with something, because everybody's showing off something. You'll find people with someone with have 6 packs and a nice car, and this is their entire personality is just wrapped around that. That's it. They don't have anything else to show for themselves. A beautiful girl with nice Instagram page and everything, but that's it.
But this is a big issue in Dubai. You have this culture of guys that come here because these girls are here. These
is what
Instagram
I meant.
girls.
I didn't want to say it this way, but this is
Let's
what I
get
meant
into
when
it.
I was
Tell me.
struggling to find
Just
girlfriends.
saying.
This is what I'm struggling to
Because
find girlfriends, because
they want
there's
to
a
go
big
out
group.
for a reason.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's their only goal. They are oriented to get this guy with the G-class, with Villa in the palm, and with
But
this
is
nice
this rented? You don't know.
And
We
there's
actually own that car, and I
five-digit
just
plate
taking
number.
pictures.
Yeah.
This is what I meant.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a way how to say it without being like Instagram girls, because there's my Instagram girl.
Yeah.
She's not like that.
Exactly.
However, you know.
In general, you have that culture where you're saying, hey, these guys are coming here and they're potentially even looking for that, and girls and vice versa. So it's like, how do you weed through all of that? Because there's a level of that's happening here, and it just comes with the territory of everything that's happening. So how do you find that genuine connection, especially for content creators? Because you're in that space too, but you're doing it genuinely and you're trying to do your own kind of content. And then it's like, how do I find people who are genuine in my space? I can only imagine it's even harder. I'm not big into social media and anything like that, but like for me, it's just I'll ignore it because I don't care about being online or whatever it may be. So it's like an out of sight, out of mind. But when you're in that space, where have you found your closest friends, I guess, is the question that I want to ask.
But it's not just about Instagram and social media. You see it on real life. Like I have friends
True.
who are like telling me horror stories like happen to them when you, like the guys, they say like, oh, gold diggers. Gold diggers are boys and girls. It's not just like for girls. But you see a guy who's telling me, oh yeah, I had this new neighbor who I met in the lift one day, and then the next day I met her in gym or something, and we just like, hi neighbor, blah, blah, blah. And then the third time I seen her, oh, she's asking me to buy her plane tickets. They're like, what? How is that even possible? Like that, you wouldn't even think about something like that. Here it happens so normal.
And now we're stereotyped as girls for being the same, like when you're not, like I don't go and ask someone for something, but like they assume that you're just there for like their drinks or you're just there for their money, and I'm like, no, like
all the comments that I'm getting on my social media now, less because I'm exposing my life a little bit less, but like there were people questioning where my money is coming from when I'm working in manager, I'm creating my own money, and like I pay for everything myself, and people questioning, oh, you're in this beach club, who's paying for that, who is next to you, who are you hiding on the camera?
See, I don't really use Instagram, and like still when I go out I feel the same, so I can't imagine how you feel.
I think just the guys, because it's more exposed as the girls are taking advantage of the guys. But how many stories you hear this, and how many times you've seen that guys, somehow you're dating a guy or going out with a guy, and then after a few dates, after a while, somehow they become all these financial troubles, and they don't have any more friends to help them. They don't have any family members to help. All of this, somehow everything falling apart, and you would have to pick up the slacks or something and be like, come on. Like it becomes, there is so many stories about this happening in Dubai. It's just crazy.
Because another thing is like, how like personally a guy asks me on a first date, I expect them to pay, right? Because they're asking me on a first date. But now guys have this like guard up, like you're a money grabber because you want me to pay on the first date. It's very like...
It's an interesting line, right? You want the equality side of it, but you're like, I appreciate the like chivalry here, but now you're just assuming that it's...
If you can afford a coffee, then why are you going out on a date? Which is like, I feel like if I insist on paying, never go on a date with like a meal, the first date, you never know, it's a psycho or something. You just like, a coffee is like short enough just so if you can run away, I guess.
It's funny, giving a guy's perspective, and one of my friends went on this and he's having issues, the same thing, right? The guy's side, he's like, okay, I feel like I'm connecting with somebody, and at the end of the time, they're realizing it's not what he's expecting. Okay. So what he told me this, and I was like, okay, I'm curious on what you guys think. So his strategy is he'll always ask for a coffee first, because to weed through kind of the gold diggers or whatever we're saying is this aspect of I'll offer a coffee first, because we could be texting and we connect and it seems great. But if a girl will say yes to a coffee, that means she wants to, like, it's not like she's looking for a big night out or something like that, but she wants to have a conversation. So if she says yes to the coffee, I have no problems then saying, hey, actually, would you prefer to get dinner instead?
But I'm shocked if a girl would actually say, oh no, take me to Zuma.
Would You'd be surprised it happens. It happens. That's what he's telling me. It comes out.
I have lots of friends, guys, like, yeah, it happens. It's crazy to hear from both sides of the story.
Yeah.
And when some of my friends are telling me stuff that happened to them, to the point where like girls is like, they want to go to a staycation, nice beach club or nice one. And I was like, nice beach club. Okay, let's go to a beach club. I was like, oh, I don't have any swimsuits. You don't? They were like, oh, can you just drop by the store to grab a swimsuit?
No way, that's
and they're like, okay, let's go. They're like, oh, 3-4 swimsuits later, 2 dresses, couple of thousand dirham later. And then I was like, you paid? I was like, I didn't know. It's like, you didn't know. Like, come on.
Some guys do like that though. Like, some guys do like that. So,
but I must say something. To be honest, I never like think about a guy's point of view with regard like to gold diggers. But also, before you're going on a date with someone, you probably have been texting with that person, right?
Mm-hmm.
You kind of know what's their intentions depending on their lifestyle, occupation, the way they speak, the way like they transmit what their goals in life. I feel like you can
get, I would
get a
say, you know,
gist.
most people using, you know, intuition, you probably can get it, but I would just defend guys, I guess, a little bit. But
yeah, that's good.
yeah, you just want
This
to.
is why you're here.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I would feel attacked if I were you.
No,
like,
not at all. No, I prefer these type of conversations. It's open, candid conversations, right? Because you have the conversation. Girls have these conversations with their girlfriends. Guys have their conversations with guys.
They
So
would be very different without you here. Though, just
Yeah.
so you know.
So it's that. It's like you think so, but then you hear like you think about all the like Tinder swindler, right? My enemies are after me,
This
send
was
me money.
crazy. Yeah.
You watch those things and you're like, well, come on, like you should have seen some of that coming on.
Yeah, I mean,
because
she was
people
crazy.
are either being love bombed or they want it, right? Because there's a desire for connection. We're all talking about where do we meet good friends. So you want that connection. So a lot of times people will almost allow themselves to be that, but give them the benefit of the doubt because I'm trying to talk to someone new. Don't want to judge them. Don't want to have my guard. So you try to, so then you get exposed to a little bit. And I think it's not just guys. I think girls are getting that way
that's
too.
actually so true.
Yeah.
Like the excitement blindness.
Exactly.
Like
What's
something
the
like
red
that.
flags
Yeah.
though? What's the thing that you points is like, yeah, no. That's like straight away is like, yeah, no.
There's
What's-
so many.
There's
Yeah.
so many.
There's so many. First of all,
I can
following
tell.
on Instagram. Instagram following. You can really judge a person
Okay.
by the people they follow
All
on their
girls
social media.
or all boys. but
Exactly. Yeah.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
And
Yeah,
also
yeah.
the inspirational quotes that they follow, like these influencers that they follow, that also says a lot about someone.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
What's in the conversation as well? Like, what if something he says or something she says or
I
something
mean,
that's
if a
just like,
guy ever asked me to just go round instead of going on a date, I would be like, no way. Because I know his intention then, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, some girls might like that. That's okay for them. But for me, like, I would never ever, I have to meet them out in the open somewhere first. You don't know them, you know? Like, you can speak to someone for years and still not know them, like catfishing, you know?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you never
True.
know. And I just think to myself, I had Hinge for a small while. And like, honestly, I was like, no, none of these guys I could ever go on a date with because their profile says it all.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a week long I had it and then I've never had anything again in my
You got
life.
the trauma.
Never. Like, my friends, they quite like it. It's funny. They used to play the voice video. They now can record
Yeah,
themselves.
yeah.
And we would just literally be like listening to their voice recordings, laughing, like so nasty. But like, because they were funny, you know? But you can tell straight away what they want from their profile. So yeah, that was a short time that I spent on dating apps.
Well, I will say this. I think we all love being in Dubai. Well, let me ask before I close out. Long term, Dubai?
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
And you?
Yeah.
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 Wow.
Yeah. Honestly, I
Yeah.
think it's just one of the best places in the world to live your life. There's so much opportunity here, and things are getting better and better.
Yeah.
Whether when you see the rest of the world, what's happening out there, we're in a good place.
Yeah.
And so I would say with that, I think we're all in that space where it's like, hey, we're willing to take the good with the bad, dating stories, whatever it may be, bad people out there. But I think it's something that it's an important thing. And glad you guys are here. And thanks for telling me your stories about it.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thanks for
It was
coming on today.
lovely.
Thanks.
Yeah. Let's do this
you.
again soon.
Yeah.
Inshallah.